everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hazeline. 안녕하세요, 들린이에요. So, you guys know that I have a boyfriend who is Korean. And we've been together for 5 years. And I'm going to talk about the things we argue today. I'm from Malaysia, he's from Korea. We have different background, different culture, we speak different language. He's 8 years older than me, so there is an age gap and definitely there is also difference in opinion. Most of these arguments happen at a very early stage of the relationship, so I cannot remember all of them. I'm just going to state the things that we argued the most and they're still fresh in my memory. First of all, we argued a lot because of miscommunication. And this happened a lot during the earlier stage of the relationship because we spoke only in English as I couldn't speak Korean at that time. So there are times he think in Korean and speak in English. I think in Chinese and speak in English. What I realized is sometimes an expression in a language cannot be directly translated to another language. It will sound weird or rude to another person who's listening. So these days when I speak in English to him, I try to remind myself that you should only think in English. But after I start to speak a conversational level of Korean, there is less miscommunication because whenever I say something weird or rude, he'll just tell me that 그게 무슨 말이야? 이런 말 없어. And then he will correct me and tell me the correct Korean expression to use. Then, the next big thing that we argue about is room temperature. I knew that there's gonna be this problem because I know a Malaysian who is married to an East Asian, and me and my boyfriend were living in Singapore at that time. As a Malaysian growing up in the Southeast Asian country, there's no way I can sleep without aircon at night. And my boyfriend who is a Korean, the country is cold most of the time, so they appreciate it when it's warm. He told me that he has an aircon at home, but his family doesn't use it more than 5 times a year. 중학생까지 에어컨 없다고 집에?
없었지. 오빠 어릴 때는 에어컨 어디 있어? 오빠 어릴 때 선풍기 있었지. 선풍기.
선풍기만?
중학생 때 처음으로 에어컨 산 거 같은데?
그럼 여름 때 안 더워?
덥지. 더운데 우리 창문 다 열어놓고 엄마가 항상 그렇게 말했어. 가만히 있어. 안 움직이면 안 더워. 더우면 차가운 물로 샤워하고 가만히 누워있어. 그럼 안 덥다고 했어. 그래서 한번 아빠가 너무 화나서 에어컨 샀는데 에어컨 왜 안 써? 에어컨 틀어 한번. 그래서 한번 여름에 한 번인가? 2번인가? 근데 그거 오래 트는 거 아니야. 에어컨 틀어도 한 30분 틀고 꺼. 너무 오래 틀면은 너무 비싸. 왜냐면 그때 에어컨 consume a lot of electricity. It's not so nice as now, right? 그 습관돼서 그때 아마 싱가포르 가서 처음 가서도 오빠 너 만나기 전까지 계속 그냥 그렇게 썼어. 잠깐 틀고 끄고 밤에 잘 때 그냥 옷 벗고 창문 열고 자고 선풍기 틀고 이렇게.
맞아. 말레이시아는 밖에 덥고 안에 추워. 근데 한국, 일본, 중국 보통 밖에 춥고 안에 더워. 그지?
그렇지.
더운 거 아닌데 따뜻해.
그렇지. 말레이시아랑 싱가포르에 비하면 그렇지.
그래서 조금 이런 문제도 있을 수도 있어 우리.
그리고 너 항상 그 띡 블랭킷 덮고 있잖아.
그거 좋잖아.
나 이해 안. 더운데 왜 띡 블랭킷 덮어?
에어컨 켜서 너무 춥고 띡한 이불 덮고 좋잖아.
그거 진짜 이상한 소리 있어.
아마 서비스 에이션 다 그럴걸?
East Asian 다 이상하게 생각할
At the beginning, I really suffered a lot. I couldn't sleep well. I sweat a lot. I tried to understand him because anyway, I'm not in Singapore half of the month. Only until one day, we were in the living room together. The aircon is on. I fell asleep in the afternoon and he decided to go to the room. So he turned off the aircon and that's when I exploded. To me, if I fell asleep in the afternoon, my family would turn on the aircon for me so that I can sleep well. But he turned the aircon off instead, so to me that was very rude. So we had a very big argument. And from that time onwards, he told me, fine, you pay for the electric bills and you can use as much as you want. And I'm like, okay, fine, I pay, and then don't say anything to me when I use it. But after years of sleeping in the cold room with me, he told me that he cannot sleep without the aircon anymore in Southeast Asia, and he said that I spoiled him too much. And another thing that we argued a lot at the earlier stage of the relationship is that he couldn't understand why I always pay for the meals for my family whenever I'm in Malaysia. To me, they raised me for 20 years and I only see them for how many times a year. So it's not a big deal to pay for meals. I couldn't understand his point of view until I visited Korea for the first time with him. And then I'm like, this is why. Because his parents would never allow him to pay for the meal. And that's when we realized that we are being brought up in a very different environment because of our different background. So we respect each other's culture. Whenever I visit his family, I bring some gifts because I know they're gonna pay for the meal. And whenever he visits Malaysia these days, he sometimes offers to pay for the meal, and I appreciate that. And next is our difference in opinion when it comes to educating kids. To be honest, we both don't really have any plans to have kids. But you know, in the middle of conversation, you always get to the part where I'll never raise my kids like that. So when we talk about that, we do have difference in opinions. For example, if my child gets into a fight with his friend, I would tell him, next time, don't fight back, run away, get help from an adult. But my boyfriend told me that he would tell the child, next time if you're fighting, you should win the fight. I was very shocked when I heard that. Like, how can you say that to a child? Like you turned the child into a bad kid or something. We argued about it a lot in the past, but these days I don't really care. And before I filmed this video, I asked him again about that. He said that it's an expression in Korean. It doesn't literally mean that go and fight. I don't know, when the sentence is being translated into English, it's like go and fight, win the fight. I guess I don't really understand the meaning in Korean. 여기 한국분 계시면 저한테 설명해 주세요. The next one is also regarding kids. We didn't really argue about it so much. It's just that I really couldn't understand his point of view until I came to Korea. He gets very irritated when kids are running around, screaming, yelling. I don't like it as well, but I think of it as nature. So it doesn't bother me so much. It's just part of the world, you know? He always tells me that, yes, kids make noise, but the adults should control the kids because the kids do not know that they are bothering other people, but the adults know it. So it's adults' fault to not control the kids. I always thought that it's not a big deal. Why you're always frustrated about that? But now since I'm living in Korea, I can totally understand his point of view because in Korea, in a lot of places like in department stores, in KTX trains, they have announcements to tell parents that make sure your kids do not bother other people, make sure they behave well. They always have reminders like that. And I was very impressed because I do see that a lot of parents here, they're very worried that their kids are bothering other people. During my flight from Singapore to Korea, there was a child sitting next to me. He was not really bothering me, to be honest. He's asking a lot of questions to his mom, but he was not screaming, yelling, or moving a lot at all. He was just sitting still, just that he asked a lot of questions. I thought he was quite cute. At the end of the flight, his mom came to me and said, "Oh, I'm very sorry if he bothers you too much. I hope you are not too disturbed by him." And I really appreciate it because I think she's really considerate. So today, I shared with you some of the possible arguments of a Korean and Malaysian international couple. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you very soon. More vlogs coming soon. Bye!